Welcome, my fellow weeaboos, to my Dragon Ball Strength and Power tier list. This will be the first part of a multi-part series, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure your viewing experience goes further beyond this video. Dragon Ball is one of my favorite series of all time, and one of the series that got me into power scaling, so it's about time I finally made a tier list on it. The main source I'll be using is the manga, but the anime, guides, and other sources will be used to help me fit some puzzle pieces together when the manga doesn't provide enough information. Before we get started, I want to acknowledge Akira Toriyama, one of the greatest fictional creators of all time. The human tier is for characters around the standard human level in Dragon Ball. Emperor Pilaf and Commander Red have great ambitions, but small statures. Neither has any combat feats. Upa threw an axe at Tao's head. Oolong and Puar have the ability to shapeshift, but it doesn't actually make them physically stronger. Puar is higher since he finished his shapeshifting training and doesn't have the 5-minute time limit like Oolong. Puar was able to cut off Great Ape Goku's tail. With Upa's help, Puar defeated Dracula Man, an opponent Krillin lost to, though they were abusing his vampire weaknesses. Bulma represents your average woman, and she comes armed with a gun. The farmer with a gun is your average man with a power level of 5. Mai and Shu are a bit more competent and well equipped than your average person, capturing Oolong and Puar. You may have thought Goku is the Superman of Dragon Ball, but that title actually goes to Suppaman, aka Sour Man. He's faster than a speeding cricket, stronger than a jumping grasshopper, and able to leap tall mounds of fish eggs in a single bound. Wait, that's not very impressive. Anyways, he's no stranger to beating on people weaker than himself and fighting dirty, or using deadly weaponry. His Toon Force also makes him essentially impossible to kill, but he'll submit to anyone with any real strength. The Bruce Lee lookalike participated in the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai preliminaries and was confident enough to challenge people on the street for money. He represents most of the preliminary fighters at the Budokais. Launch's aggressive personality is a highly armed and dangerous outlaw. She could easily beat up a Red Ribbon Army soldier. Colonel Silver was fast enough to surprise Goku and take his bag right out of his hands, and strong enough to not go down from one of Goku's strikes, though Goku was likely holding back. With his bazooka, he was able to shoot down Goku on his flying Nimbus, aka Quinton. The anime makes Silver's strength more clear, with him being strong enough to break a weight machine and punching bag, as well as easily defeat pro boxers. General White seemed confident he could fight Goku after watching him easily defeat his men, and thought he could defeat a tired Goku, though he was terribly wrong. He got up after Goku punched him across the room, and his powered gun knocked Goku over. Android 8 had to step in and save Goku from White's second shot. Manwolf has the 30th level black belt in Kenpo and made it through the preliminaries of the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. For some reason he thought he could defeat the guy who destroyed the moon, and that a knife could turn the tables in his favor. Mr. Satan is the champ of the human tier. He was able to win the 24th Tenkaichi Budokai, earning his title as the world champ. When he attempted to break 15 tiles, he was able to break 14 of them. His record on the punching machine was 139. With the other recorded scores from the regular participants being 97, 61, 112, and 92. Where Mr. Satan really shines is his durability, as he's taken hits from Trunks, Cell, and Boo without being killed. Obviously these characters all held back, but Mr. Satan went flying from the force and his impact was enough to break a brick wall. Yet the champ was still able to stand, meaning his durability is considerably better than the normal humans. Mr. Satan easily beat up 2 serial killers, but was taken out by a pistol. In the anime, he was able to pull some buses, but people in real life have pulled off similar feats of strength. Punching through the bus was more impressive, though his arm got stuck. Toriyama didn't think Mr. Satan was as strong as the real human Bob Sapp, so Mr. Satan has to be in this tier and not the one above. The low superhuman tier is for characters beyond that of a regular human for one reason or another. Ranfan made it through the preliminaries of the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai and was able to use her feminine wiles to get a leg up on her male competition. She's not just a pretty face though, as she was quick enough to dodge Nam and strong enough to hurt him. Even if you think Mr. Satan's a bit stronger than her, he will almost definitely fall for her charm. Videl at the moment of her introduction was already stronger than her father and so good that the police used her to help fight crime. After training with Gohan, she learned how to fly, and her kick broke Spopovich's neck. Pterodactyls are large flying dinosaurs that can easily overpower humans. The one that kidnapped Bulma had human level intelligence. The Bear Bandit was about the same size, but has a sword. Krillin at the start of the series had already been training at Orin Temple for 8 years. Even with his short legs, he had the running speed to make it into the Olympics, being able to run 100 meters in 10.1 seconds. He could cut rope with his hand and KO a saber-toothed cat that surprise attacked him. Despite Super making it seem otherwise, Krillin was already somewhat resistant to bullets at this point. Bacterian's strength is a legend among martial artists, and his stench is even more powerful. His smell hinders his opponent's ability to fight back, and his loogies make even elephants run. He wasn't KO'd from a kick from post-Roshi training Krillin, so I believe he should be above pre-Roshi training Krillin considering what post-Roshi training Krillin did to his fellow Orin Temple trainees who used to bully him. The next spot goes to large dinosaurs. Beginning of series, Krillin was afraid of them, and their sheer size overwhelms the characters below. Monster Carrot could jump high and dodge Goku's power pole, aka Nyoibo strike, so physically he isn't too shabby. But the real danger about him is his ability to turn anyone he touches into a carrot. The high Superhuman Tier is for characters strong enough to kill dinosaurs and have attack power above that of a gun. The large royal guard who challenged King Piccolo believed he could defeat someone who used demonic powers and that guns didn't work on. Spopovich at one point was weaker than Mr. Satan, but after his Majin boost his strength increased, he gained the ability to use Ki, and became nearly unkillable to the point his neck being broken was just an inconvenience for him. Videl was beating him for most of the fight, but since she couldn't put him down, he turned the tables on her. There's also the strong possibility he was holding back the entire time, as when he used a Ki blast on her it was stated he held back not to kill her. Yamu should be about the same level as Spopovich. Chi-Chi as a kid was able to cut the head off of a dinosaur with her boomerang headgear, and blow up its remains with her helmet laser. Her blade also went right through Master Roshi's staff and embedded into his skull. Ninja Murasaki was incompetent, but still managed to give post-Roshi training Goku some trouble with his ninja tools. Murasaki's actually one of 5 quintuplets, but even altogether, the brothers couldn't defeat Goku. Yamcha at the start of the series was able to give Goku some trouble, knocking him through stone pillars, though Goku was weakened due to his hunger. He was able to quickly KO Chi-Chi after she unexpectedly attacked him. Yamcha trained for the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai and got stronger, but all he did was quickly get defeated by Roshi, so there's no proof he surpassed the beginning of series Goku, who's at the top of this tier. Goku, even at the start of Dragon Ball, was incredibly powerful by Earth standards, being able to tank gunfire and lift up small cars. He's also been shown to crush rock, break bricks with his fingers, take an axe hit to the head, run 100 meters in 8.5 seconds, and move a large boulder even more than Master Roshi did. Goku was able to use the Kamehameha after seeing it once, a move that took Roshi 50 years to learn, and was able to partially destroy a small car with it. His Kamehameha could break through a wall he and Yamcha couldn't punch through, but it was unable to damage a 1-foot thick steel wall. He has a power pole, aka Nyoibo, that can extend him all of the way to the moon, and Goku often used it to aid him in combat. If his hunger hadn't been limiting him, Goku would have clearly defeated Yamcha, which is why he goes at the top of this tier. His power level at this point was 10 per the Daizenshu. The Tenkaichi Budokai Contender tier is for characters strong enough to be competitive in the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai. Staff Officer Black was confident Goku wouldn't beat him as easily as the other Red Ribbon Army members he's fought. Goku decided to dodge Black's blows, and Black didn't go down from one of Goku's strikes. This is even more impressive than what other Red Ribbon officers have pulled off, as this was Goku after his Korin training. Based on this, I think you could argue in hand-to-hand combat Black is superior to General Blue. And this is the tier I would put Blue if he didn't have psychic powers. Dracula Man was the first of Baba's fighters and defeated post-Roshi training Krillin. In his bat form, he was too quick for Krillin, and his sharp fangs can lead to blood loss. However, his win over Krillin was partly due to Goku causing Krillin to lose blood even faster than he otherwise would have. The Invisible Man was Baba's second fighter, and Baba said her fighters become progressively stronger, so he should go above Dracula Man. He was beating Yamcha at first, but Yamcha would have likely turned it around had it not been for Baba singing loudly so Yamcha couldn't hear his movements. Once made visible by Roshi's nosebleed, he was quickly defeated and surrendered, so without his invisibility, he's not that strong. Pilaf's mech suits were far stronger than humans, and they were able to take blows from post-Korin training Goku and make him struggle a bit. They can combine, but just a light Kamehameha from Goku easily dismantled them. Giran was weaker than 21st Tenkaichi Budokai Goku, needing his flight to save him from a ring out. But he has the ability Merry-Go-Round Gum, which can wrap around his opponent. Goku almost lost to this technique, first getting saved by Quinton, and then being saved by his tail growing back. The gum wasn't strong enough to hold Goku for long though, and seeing Goku smash the tournament wall made him give up. This is why I put Pamput above Giran, as he showed off his strength by destroying the same wall. Goku during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai quickly defeated Pamput, and Krillin thought he didn't seem that impressive, but Roshi said this was just due to how much they've grown. Krillin, after his Roshi training, gained superhuman strength far beyond that of most other fighters on the planet, being able to push a massive rock just like Goku did, though not quite as far. He even gave Roshi some trouble and had an entire exchange with him in just a fraction of a second. His head smashed with the same structure Pamput did, also putting his striking power above Giran's. Though Giran has a good shot at beating Krillin and the other characters above him on this tier if he gets his merry-go-round gum around them, since the much stronger Goku struggled to get out of it. Yamcha during Fortune Teller Baba's tournament defeated the Invisible Man, who was superior to the opponent Krillin lost to, which is why I put him above Krillin. However, Krillin partly lost due to Goku annoying him, and Yamcha had some help from Roshi's nosebleed. So there is some wiggle room there to argue Krillin still being superior. The pirate robot was heavily armed and gave post-Roshi training Goku and Krillin trouble. Krillin managed to break its sword, but it landed a good punch on Krillin in return. Going off just the manga, it's hard to tell who would win between the robot and Krillin, but the anime made it pretty clear Krillin could only run from it and Goku was needed to take it down. Bora is strong enough to throw a spear through a tree, and throw the portly Yajirobe and Goku extremely far up Korin Tower. Bullets don't even leave a scratch on his skin, so the pirate robot would have difficulty harming him. Nam was Goku's second opponent in the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, and showed off incredible jumping ability. He was able to dodge Goku's after image attack, which is the move Roshi used to defeat Krillin, which should put Nam above Krillin during the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai. Nam gave Goku a decent fight, and after watching Goku defeat Nam, Roshi realized it was possible he might actually lose, so Nam deserves his spot at the top of this tier. The Tenkaichi Budokai Champion tier is home to multiple champions of the Tenkaichi Budokai and others on their level. The Ox King was Roshi's number 2 student after Grandpa Gohan, and did the exact same training Goku and Krillin did before the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, so this should at bare minimum put him in the Tenkaichi Budokai Contender tier. He doesn't have any feats in the manga, but in the anime beginning of series Goku couldn't even come close to damaging him, though Ox King couldn't tag Goku either. In a filler episode, Ox King easily destroyed tanks, and took out a pterodactyl by throwing a large boulder at it. This is notable as in another filler episode, Nam lost to one of those pterodactyls and would have been its lunch had he not been saved by Goku. So overall I think Ox King's physical strength should be in this tier, though his lack of speed keeps him at the bottom. Octopapa was thrashing post-Roshi training Goku around and clearly damaging him, but was one shot by Goku's Kamehameha. Ox King can't use the Kamehameha, so he would likely lose since there's no proof he's physically superior to post-21st Tenkaichi Budokai Goku. Major Metallitron was a robot who could go blow for blow with Goku after the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai. He also forced Goku to use a Kamehameha, but was able to keep fighting even after his head was blown off, and only lost because he ran out of batteries. He can shoot a rocket out of his mouth that Goku compared to his Kamehameha, so he could likely fry Octopapa as well, though I do think Octopapa is physically superior, so if that missile misses, Octopapa would either overpower or outlast the Major. General Blue was strong enough to take Krillin off guard, but turned out to be physically inferior. However, Blue has psychic powers and can paralyze people when he looks into their eyes. He used this power to freeze Krillin so he could beat him up. He used the same tactic on Goku and brought out a shotgun that was implied to be able to kill Goku at close range. Luckily for Goku, Blue got scared by a mouse and released Goku from his hold, allowing Goku to quickly defeat him. Blue was able to capture both Goku and Roshi with his psychic powers when he took them by surprise. Roshi said Blue was impressive being able to conceal his power and aura like that, and that Blue somehow wrapped the rope so that he couldn't draw upon his strength. Had it not been for launch, Blue may have killed Roshi and Goku with the bomb he left behind with them. Blue can crush phone booths and cut palm trees in half with his hand, and would have stabbed Goku with it had it not been for Aurelie knocking him to what looks like Egypt, which Blue survived. Goku after his Roshi training was superior to everyone he came across up until Roshi himself, who he gave a real run for his money during the finals of the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai. He matched Roshi's Kamehameha and kept copying Roshi's moves, like when he saw Roshi use the double after image, and then use the triple after image in return. He pushed Roshi so far that he thought he had no choice but to use the Thundershock Surprise. Goku's only the second person who forced Roshi to use that move, the first one being Grandpa Gohan. Once hit by it, Goku resisted and didn't want to surrender, and Roshi said even Gohan didn't last that long. Even though he lost, at the end of the fight, Roshi admitted no one ever pushed him as far as Goku did. The Mummy was Baba's third fighter and easily defeated Yamcha. After watching him fight, Roshi thought the Goku they previously knew wouldn't have a chance against him, but that current Goku might. This means the Mummy should be above 21st Tenkaichi Budokai Goku. King Choppa won a previous Tenkaichi Budokai without being struck once. Roshi thought Choppa would be a sticky match for Goku during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, which took place 3 years after his fight with the Mummy, who he one-shot. King Choppa wasn't one-shot, though Goku was holding back on both of them to unknown degrees. Krillin and Yamcha were actually surprised Goku was blocking all of Choppa's attacks, meaning they must have looked formidable to them. And Yamcha didn't think anyone could defeat Choppa so easily. Android 8 was physically stronger than Goku after the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, being able to punch General White over some mountains, and more durable as well, tanking a powered gunshot that severely hurt Goku. Booyan was completely unaffected by post-21st Tenkaichi Budokai Goku strikes and Kamehameha due to his jiggly body. According to General White, no weapon or martial arts technique can stand against him. Booyan can shoot out electricity from his antennas and almost ate both Goku and Android 8. Goku had to freeze Booyan so he could break him into pieces. Devilman was Baba's 4th fighter and a 2-time champ of the Tenkaichi Budokai. He can fly and has a pitchfork which should be able to stab through someone like Booyan. His most dangerous technique is his Devilmite Beam, as it makes the evil expand in someone until they blow up. This would work on almost anyone. He was just unlucky he was fighting someone as pure as Goku. Master Roshi at the start of the series was a bit rusty, but was able to run 100 meters in 5.6 seconds, move a decent sized boulder, and catch bullets from a machine gun. During the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, he knocked Yamcha out of the ring with the air pressure from his hand. Krillin admitted his inferiority to him during their fight, and the only one who truly pushed him was Goku. Roshi would have defeated Goku multiple times had it not been for outside interference. He would have won with his Sleepy Boy technique had Bulma not woken him up, and he would have won with his Lightning Surprise had Goku not turned into a Great Ape. Even after wasting almost all his energy destroying the moon, to the point he could no longer fire a Kamehameha, but Goku could, Roshi still ended up edging out Goku due to his longer limbs. He also has the power to read minds. Roshi during this time could even be argued in the tier above with all of his techniques, and the fact he seemingly held back some of his power against Goku. So this spot is specifically ranking Roshi using the powers and abilities he used against Goku during the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, besides his max power Kamehameha. The strongest in the world tiers for characters on the level of the strongest on Earth at the start of the series. Staff Officer Black in his battle jacket was able to give Post-Corn Goku trouble and has a missile that can blow the tops off mountains. Chiaotzu during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai gave Krillin trouble with his flight, Dodon Ray, and psychic abilities. Had it not been for his stupidity, he likely would have won. Krillin during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai was clearly physically superior to Chiaotzu, and was fast enough to blitz him. The only reason Chiaotzu had a chance of beating him was due to his psychic powers. Krillin gave Goku using his tournament power a good fight, and Goku said it was the most fun he's ever had in a fight. You could argue that makes Krillin Goku's strongest opponent yet, but I don't think he was having fun fighting Tao. Maybe you could argue this puts him above Grandpa Gohan, but I like to think this is just Goku having the most fun he's ever had fighting his best friend. Yamcha during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai was about the same level as Krillin, but he had a better mastery of the Kamehameha, so I put him above. Tao Pai Pai was the world's deadliest assassin, and killed General Blue with just his tongue. He broke a pillar by tapping on it and then threw it, jumped on it, and traveled 2,300 kilometers at Mach 8. He blitzed and casually overpowered Bora with just a few fingers, and then ruthlessly killed him. Goku after the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai didn't stand a chance against him, only being able to damage Tao's clothes with his Kamehameha, and only survived Tao's Dodon Ray due to the 4-star Dragon Ball he was carrying. You could argue Yamcha, Krillin, and Chiaotzu during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai were above Tao, especially considering Krillin did better against the stronger version of Goku than Tao did, and there's a volume statement that says Chiaotzu and Tien were Goku's strongest opponents yet, but Crane Herman truly didn't believe Goku defeated Tao until he saw Goku easily defeat Krillin. It's also possible Tao's weaker in martial arts, but stronger with his weapons and killing techniques. As with his sword, he actually had the edge against post-Corn training Goku until Goku brought out his power pole. Also, we have to consider that Goku was using his battle strength against Tao, and his tournament strength against Krillin. Crane Hermit is Tao's older brother and was Roshi's rival, though Tien confirmed he was inferior to the Turtle Hermit. His power level is 120 according to Weekly Shonen Jump and the Daizenshu. Chi-Chi during the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai made it through the preliminaries and fought Goku, catching him off guard a bit with her speed. Roshi acknowledged her skill and said her style was similar to the Turtle School's. Per Weekly Shonen Jump, her power level was 130. Grandpa Gohan was Baba's 5th and strongest fighter. Roshi said he wouldn't be an easy match for Goku, and Goku acknowledged his powers totally different from Baba's other fighters. Gohan was said to be unrivaled in a host of martial arts disciplines and knew the Kamehameha, Drunken Fist, and Rock Paper Scissors move. He gave Post-Corn Goku a run for his money, which should at least put him above Tao, though Goku did tank one of his blows while he said Tao was hurt. It's also possible that Gohan is above unarmed Tao, but below armed Tao. Master Roshi in his fully suppressed form at the beginning of the Saiyan Saga had a power level of 139. He trained for the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, so this should put him above where he was during the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai. However, there were multiple statements after Goku trained with Korin implying he was only maybe stronger than Roshi. And Roshi had also trained with Korin, meaning Roshi should have been around the level of post-Korin training Goku at some point. So it's possible Roshi during the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai was that strong all along and just held back on Goku, or he just got so rusty he dropped a tier and had to train to get back to where he was. Goku, after climbing Korin Tower and training with Korin, multiplied his power many-fold and surpassed Tao, defeating him fairly easily. He was able to one-shot the Mummy, who was implied to be above his 21st Tenkaichi Budokai self. And when serious, he one-shot Devilman so fast even Roshi couldn't see it. Multiple statements implied he surpassed Roshi, and he soloed the entire Red Ribbon army, which is something Roshi didn't think he had the stamina to do. Goku was clearly stronger than Grandpa Gohan, eating one of his kicks with his body, and Gohan gave up once Goku lost his tail. Chaozu during the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai went through Corn training, so he should at least be at the level of post-Corn training Goku and base Roshi. Plus he has his psychic powers. Simba was strong enough to give Yajirobe trouble and can shoot lightning blasts, pushing Yajirobe to draw his sword, which should be enough to put him at the top of this tier. The Demon Tier is for characters of unnatural strength that puts them above the level of the Earth's previous world's strongest. Tambourine was stated to be several times stronger than Symbol, so he has to go a tier above him. He was so strong he killed Krillin by accident, and a tired post-22nd Tenkaichi Budokai Goku was no match for him. He also killed Nam, Giran, and most of the other finalists of the Tenkaichi Budokai. Yajirobe, upon his introduction, was able to fight evenly with Goku after the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, with Goku saying he's never met anybody this tough before. He could match Symbol with his fists and easily cut the monster down with his sword. Even though he may be physically tougher than 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai Tien and Roshi based on Goku's statement, I put Yajirobe below them due to his lack of techniques. As I mentioned previously, Roshi trained for the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, which increased his strength. But on top of that, he seemed to have partially buffed himself up to fight in the tournament, which likely increased his power even further. This is backed up by Weekly Shonen Jump giving him a power level of 180 at this time. The same as Goku and Tien's during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. This is backed up by him having a very even match with Tien. Roshi forfeited the fight, but Tien acknowledged Roshi hadn't even used his full power yet, though Roshi admitted he probably would have lost if the fight kept going. Which is why I have Tien during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai one spot above him. Tien, aka Ten Shinhan, demonstrated he was a level above Yamcha in their match, defeating him in short order and breaking his leg. Like the Crane Hermit in Chaozu, he can fly, which was a big deal back in early Dragon Ball. His three eyes give him increased visual perception, which allowed him to counter Roshi's afterimage and be the only one to see Goku's high-speed movements. He has a bunch of strange techniques, like being able to sprout 2 extra arms from his body. Tien is the original user of the Taioken, aka Solar Flare. And of course there's his signature technique, the Tri-Beam, aka Kiko Ho, which has more destructive power than the Kamehameha at the cost of his own life energy. He was able to easily copy the Kamehameha after seeing it once, and Roshi said the Kamehameha won't work on him no matter how strong it is. Goku during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai had an extremely close fight with Tien, but at the end of the fight Goku actually would have won if a car had not hit him before they hit the ground, which is why I put Goku above Tien. Before his fight with Tien, Goku used what he called his tournament power, and easily defeated Krillin with speed even Roshi couldn't track, leading Roshi to believe he may have already surpassed him. Man, they do say that a lot, don't they? It's like Roshi's a moving goalpost, like a certain cat I know. Goku's battle power is what he uses when he's actually trying to kill his opponent, and when using this, Tien admitted he was at a disadvantage against Goku when fighting him head to head. Tien was forced to use the Tri-Beam, and if Goku wasn't forced to stay on the arena, it wouldn't have been such an issue, so this further backs up Goku being above Tien. Korin was given a power level of 190 by Weekly Shonen Jump, so he should go above Goku and Tien during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, who are both given power levels of 180. Korin admitted Goku was stronger than him after his battle with Tambourine, which was right after the tournament. So either the power level given for him was wrong, or Goku got stronger from his tournament battles and his battle with Tambourine, possibly due to Zenkais, which is a fan term for power-up Sans get after a near-death experience. If we assume the number's just wrong, Korin could be argued right below Roshi and Goku in the tier under, as they both managed to take the water from him, which arguably means they surpassed him. Goku getting stronger does make sense though, as after recovering he easily defeated Tambourine in their second fight, and Yajirobe, the guy Goku implied was stronger than Tien, did not want to mess with Goku after seeing him kill Tambourine. This version of Goku also put a suppressed old King Piccolo on his ass. Drum was the strongest of King Piccolo's children, and was able to defeat Tien fairly easily. Cyborg Tao was confident he could defeat Tien, and Crane Hermit thought he could as well, which should put him above Tien during the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. Weekly Shonen Jump gave Cyborg Tao a power level of 210, which backs this up. Tao easily defeated Chaozu during the preliminaries of the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, but he turned out to be no match for Tien. The low Demon King tier is for characters on the level of old King Piccolo. Shenron doesn't fight, but he's a massive dragon with wish-granting powers, so he's likely above most of the characters in early Dragon Ball. He was easily killed by young King Piccolo, so he has to be a tier below him at the very least. Goku as a Great Ape was said to have a power level of 100 at the beginning of the series, but he accidentally crushed Grandpa Gohan to death, so physical strength-wise, he's likely far stronger than the characters below. During the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, Goku's power level grew, and his Great Ape power should have as well, though it was still implied Roshi could have killed him with his max power Kamehameha. Master Mutaito was weaker than King Piccolo, but managed to seal him with the evil containment wave, aka Mafuba. In a filler episode, he seemed superior to post-King Piccolo fight Goku, which makes no sense. So I'm just gonna assume Goku wasn't going all out, and Mutaito just outskilled him. Roshi at max power was able to not only blow away a mountain with his Kamehameha, but the entire moon. He has the most impressive feat in all of early Dragon Ball, but he admitted King Piccolo's power surpassed his own, and even as a group they couldn't defeat him. Roshi thought his only hope of defeating King Piccolo was the evil containment wave, which he failed at and died. Old King Piccolo easily defeated Goku after his fight with Tambourine and said he hasn't even shown half his strength yet. He tanked Goku's Kamehameha and nearly killed him with his own Ki Blast. Yamcha during the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai gave Kami a bit of trouble, and Krillin gave Piccolo Jr. some trouble as well. And both of those opponents were stronger than a Prime King Piccolo, so just giving them a small challenge should put them above Old King Piccolo. Roshi admitted Yamcha and Krillin surpassed him by that point as well. One thing that could put these two lower is that 5 years later, at the start of the Saiyan Saga, Yamcha's power level was recorded at 177, and Krillin's was recorded at 206. However, this is while they were not fighting, and we know the Z Fighters' Ki spikes in combat, unlike many of their enemies. The high Demon King tier is for characters around the level of a Prime Demon King Piccolo. Goku, after recovering from his first fight with King Piccolo and drinking the Ultra Divine Water, was able to one-shot Drum and fight on par with the young King Piccolo. When it came to physical combat, it seemed he surpassed the Demon King, but King Piccolo was able to damage Goku's leg with an eye laser to the point he couldn't use it anymore. And had it not been for Tien, he would have likely killed Goku with his city-busting Ki Blast, which Goku admitted Tien saved him from, which is why I put King Piccolo above Goku. After that, King Piccolo didn't have enough energy to finish Goku off and resorted to taking Tien hostage and injuring Goku's other limbs. Piccolo got cocky though and left Goku with one arm, which ended up being enough for Goku to defeat the Demon King. The Daizenshu says King Piccolo's power is comparable to a small nuke, and Yajirobe thought it was amazing Goku could defeat someone who could destroy a city, which would suggest King Piccolo is around city level. On the other end of the spectrum, King Piccolo was planning on wiping out 1/43 of the Earth's surface every year over the course of a single day, possibly with one attack, and should be more powerful than Roshi, who destroyed the moon. Though it's possible Roshi's raw power in his buff form surpassed King Piccolo, similar to how Trunks' buff form surpassed Cell's. But just like how Trunks couldn't beat Cell, Roshi couldn't beat Piccolo. We also see that the Kamehameha can over double someone's power level, so that could have boosted Roshi's destructive capability above King Piccolo, since King Piccolo doesn't seem to know any move more powerful than a standard Ki Blast. A much stronger Piccolo was visibly tired after destroying the moon, which could further indicate Roshi's max power may not be far off from him. Funnily enough, if you take Roshi's highest confirmed power level of 180 and multiply it by 2, it becomes almost the exact same as Piccolo's was when he destroyed the moon. Tien, as of the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, was able to easily dominate Cyborg Tao, and was confident his speed was above Goku's during his fight with King Piccolo. Based off Krillin's and Yamcha's statements, he was at least a tier above them during this time. And considering Tien was confident he could beat a Goku even stronger than the one that fought King Piccolo just because he hadn't improved his speed, should be a clear indication he would be able to defeat King Piccolo and Goku during that fight. 5 years later, his power level was recorded at 250, which should be below King Piccolo's and Goku's, who are both given power levels of a 260 in the guidebooks. But like I mentioned before, that was Tien while he wasn't in combat. And it's possible Tien could be a bit weaker than them and still defeat them due to his speed advantage. Mr. Popo easily outsped and outskilled Goku after his fight with King Piccolo, with Goku admitting Popo was the strongest person he's ever met up to that point. Popo said Goku had considerable power but didn't use it well, so I think power-wise he's closer to Goku and King Piccolo rather than the character in the tier above. The God tier is for God himself, aka Kami. Popo admitted Kami was much stronger than him, and Kami finger-flicked post-King Piccolo fight Goku away, so he should be a tier above both of them. He gave Piccolo a decent challenge during the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, amazing the others, with even Tien saying they were both way beyond normal human ability, which backs Kami being a tier above Tien during that time. During that whole fight, Kami was in a body of a human which weakened him, so he would have been even more impressive if he was fighting in his true body. Weekly Shonen Jump gave Kami a power level of 220, which is clearly wrong considering it should be above King Piccolo's. It also gave Mr. Popo a power level of 1030. These numbers came out when the Saiyan Saga was being released, so either Kami got weaker and Popo got stronger by the time of the Saiyan Saga, or these numbers are just wrong. For Kami, I think it's very likely whoever wrote that number forgot Kami wasn't supposed to be equal in strength to old King Piccolo, and 220 is probably where old King Piccolo should fall. The final tier for the first part of this series is the strongest under the heavens tier, housing the two strongest characters in early Dragon Ball before it got to that space stuff. Piccolo was the spawn of King Piccolo, with powers even greater than his father's. His and Goku's speed was so great, even Kami's godly eyes couldn't keep track of them, and Piccolo said he could defeat 100 of everyone else besides Goku at once, even if they had Kami helping them. And Roshi agreed, since none of them but Goku could track his quick movements. However, one thing in Kami's favor is that he was able to jump in the way of Piccolo's punch meant to finish off Goku and block it. So that would indicate he isn't really that far behind them. Though Goku said Piccolo's punches were getting weaker by that point. Kami tried to defeat Piccolo with the evil containment wave, but Piccolo managed to reverse it and seal Kami. Piccolo has a bunch of useful abilities like being able to stretch his arms and turn into a giant. He was durable enough to withstand Goku's Super Kamehameha, and when he does get injured, he can regenerate entire limbs. Piccolo's strongest attack was able to cover the entire island they were on, which is stated to be the size of a small continent in the Daizenshu. Goku during the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai had a power level of 910 per weekly Shonen Jump. That power level is higher than what base Goku was recorded at in the Saiyan Saga, so 910 is likely his power level when using the Super Kamehameha, which has the power to shatter the moon per the Daizenshu. Initially, Goku seemed to be having issues with Tien, but that's because he was wearing weighted clothes. After taking off the weights, he easily defeated Tien without even using his full power. Goku had a close fight with Piccolo, withstanding Piccolo's strongest attack, and ended up pulling off a win even after having a hole blown through his chest while being off guard, and all his limbs broken, finally becoming the strongest under the heavens. That's the end of the first part of my Dragon Ball Strength and Power tier list. Make sure to subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss future parts. And if the next part's already out, go watch it right now! But not before leaving a like and commenting on this video first. I want this video to have the most views under the heavens.